All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another Juices Loose podcast. This is number 166. And usually, we just get right into the topics, but we got to say what's up to Brother Twilight, formerly known as Twilight Bites. Been a long time.
Let the congregation speak.
So, welcome back after what? It's been over a year and a half probably since you've been on the podcast. So,
Yeah.
why don't you say hi to everybody and what the hell you been up to?
I have been playing music, man, trying to get my life together, trying to make this musicianship work as a profession. And it's been a very harrowing journey, and it continues to be, but I'm enjoying it. I just needed to kind of get away from the hustle and bustle of the gamosphere for a little while.
Yeah, you do that about what, twice a year?
Yeah.
So, and you change your name every time. So I don't know.
What, did they take your name away?
It probably won't happen again.
It's like Jordan coming back with the 4-5.
Yeah, pretty much. But I'm extremely happy to be back. It's great to hear y'all's voices again.
And we've been gaming since ARMS came out. We've been chatting here and there.
Yeah, man.
Occasional game nights and stuff, which happened again this past Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I just want to say for those of us that have really put time in ARMS since that last update, like that game has come, like, it seems like it hasn't come a long way on one hand, but on the other hand, it does seem like now you got, auto saves, replays, you got the badges now. Only got the one new character since basically Max Brass. And,
yeah, he doesn't count.
But yeah, because he was a boss in the game like day one. But that game's really, to me, it's really climbed the charts, and I think it's right now it's my second favorite Switch game. But what is Twilight? Since you haven't been on in a while, what's your thoughts on ARMS? We've been playing. Started mostly at launch, and then this last update we played. How are you feeling about the game and the update, and how kind of where does it land on your Switch game list right now?
I'm extremely satisfied with it. When I first watched the Nintendo Switch presentation back in January, I remember thinking, like a lot of people, like, oh my God, not another Wii boxing type thing, because they had just shown the motion controls for the Joy-Cons and everything. But after seeing the first 5 seconds of actual gameplay, I was like, oh shit, I'm definitely getting a Nintendo Switch now. So now that it's out and we played it so much, it's like the next Smash Brothers for me. Like, I really hope that they continue to come out with these games and continue to improve on the formula. Because and Lola Pop, I mean, she's the bomb, and that's she's like proof that they're really putting thought into the longevity of the the game itself, like the meta game and all that kind of stuff. How each character, it seems like they should all play the same, right? But they really don't.
Yeah, because with Lola, like, you were using tactics that I didn't even consider.
Exactly.
And you were doing really well. So how do you, like, you missed the podcast we did not too long after the game came out where I entitled it, Is ARMS the New Smash? And I didn't mean, like, some people took it as, it's the new king, it's better than Smash, this kind of stuff. But what I meant was just this, have fun. A group of people can play it, and just next thing you know, it's 2 in the morning, and you're still playing type of game. And plus, it's also kind of a fighter, so that's kind of why I made the comparison. But the biggest difference, and since you haven't been on in a while, you haven't talked about this. I'll just ask you this one thing before we move on to like more current stuff. But how did you feel about the fact that ARMS is just 100% new characters from the beginning? They didn't rely on bringing any like Nintendo known IPs, and it's just brand new characters day one. All these new characters all of a sudden exist in the Nintendo's universe, unlike with Smash, which they really relied heavily on nostalgia and familiarity.
I think it's genius that they were able to make these characters stylish enough and striking enough, and they all have their own like classic look. I mean, they're instantly recognizable now. You know what I'm saying? You look at an ARMS character, and they likened it to Overwatch at first, and I understand that. But when you see an ARMS character, it's an ARMS character. You don't even have to see the springy arms. You look at Ribbon Girl's face, or the coils in their eye, their irises, like their eyes. It's like, you really don't need to put Mario in it. You know what I'm saying? Like kids today, 10 and up, are going to remember ARMS very fondly years from now when there's a ARMS reboot. You know what I'm saying? They're going to love it.
Man,
You know
let me
what I'm saying?
defend Smash here because that was an unfair assessment of
Oh.
Smash. Because if you remember, the first Smash Brothers came out in 1999. There
Mhm.
wasn't a whole lot of legacy
Exactly.
at that point. I mean, so
Yeah, but it was
I mean,
like the commercial. All they had to do was show 4 people in costumes fighting, as Nintendo characters, and people were sold.
it was a very different time as well. Also,
My thing is that's totally like apples and oranges. But when it comes to the pick up and play vibe of it, whether you want to pick up and play and be competitive or pick up and play and be a party, it works both ways, just like how Smash does.
Yeah,
and
and
it's just as addictive, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I was just saying they had done Smash. Smash was completely new when they did it. So
Yeah.
they had done Smash, and for them to come out with another fighter, what established Nintendo characters would be suicide. That was not a good thing. That would have been not a good idea.
That's a good point.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so Terrell, why don't we get your thoughts on the ARMS update? I can't remember what day that hit. Was that last week?
That was like what, maybe 2
Yeah,
weeks
that was
ago,
a
or
lot.
Was
1
it?
week?
Where they added the replays and all that in the badges? I thought
Maybe,
that was like
maybe like a week. It's somewhere between a week and 2 weeks. It's not that much. It hasn't been that long,
well, because we didn't talk about it last week on the podcast,
dude.
right?
No, we didn't.
Dude, to me personally, I'm gonna make a bold. I'm gonna say ARMS has the best.
October
ARMS has like the best online currently of Switch games.
Yeah.
Like it's just the setup and the menus and the fact that every time this game gets updated, the game becomes more and more appealing. You customize your buttons, you get badges that work like achievements that give you points so you can earn more ARMS to keep playing. Lola, 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
You know why that is, though?
I don't care. What's up?
You know why that is? That
Why?
the online is so much better? Because it's not relying on old systems. It's not relying on Wii U the way, obviously, Mario Kart is, and even Splatoon. I'm sure they're using some of the same stuff in the Wii U version of Splatoon as far as the online goes. So ARMS is like completely new. So they probably built that thing ground up on the Switch.
Well, that and just how dedicated developers seem to be.
Well, yeah.
Where they're just constantly putting out the updates that most fighting game fans want. Because people complain about, a replay should have been in there from the jump, but it's like at least they're adding it in for free and they're not charging it for you. And think about it, the game's only 4 months old now.
Yeah.
It's a little bit over 4 months and already feels like a full feature game.
Can we talk about the music real quick? Can we talk about the subtext of ARMS real quick? Let me tell y'all something. I used to play Capoeira back in the day, right? I need to be playing it now because I'm getting out of shape. But I used to play Capoeira back in the day. And if y'all hear the music, it has a very strong Brazilian influence, right? Very strong samba, capoeira influence. You can hear the berimbau in the back, that twing, 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 twing. That's the berimbau. That's a gourd instrument that's used in the game of capoeira, where you go around in a circle and you're kicking each other and you're doing a dance and your kicks are going over the person's head and your punches and stuff are going over the person's head. It's like ARMS is a direct freaking like carbon copy of capoeira almost, because most of the arms don't even hit. It's like a dance almost, like they're dancing with each other. And it's just like, if you watch a game of capoeira and then you watch ARMS, you understand what I'm saying. And it's like these people who make these games and tell a story through the music are geniuses, man. Like that's, for me, even over the gameplay, my absolute favorite part about this game is the music and the vibe that they send through this game. It's perfect for fighting, but it's still fun. It's like you want to kick the shit out of somebody, but you still, like, you'll be smiling the whole time. And the person you kick is gonna be smiling too. Like that's
that's straight up. My introduction to Capoeira was that 80s movie Only the Strong. What was his name?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
And ARMS even has kind of that vibe too, kind of that retro 80s kind of gaudy shoulder pads type vibe. You know what I'm saying?
And that update was last Monday. I mean, last week.
So. Okay, so it's only been like a week.
1 week.
Well, there was two updates. There was the one that
the one most recent one was
That was the biggest
Monday,
one.
but there was one not long before that either, a couple weeks before. So
yeah, I'm about to say they've been pretty consistent. Like it's like every few weeks we seem to get something for ARMS, or at least they're teasing something.
The badges, like I didn't know what to think when I heard about them, but it's like it was cool to see those, and then the points you get from them. Like now I can actually get a bunch of arms, and I have all these points to spend on getting arms, and it's not as much of a grind. And you know, you put your little badge on, and whatever looks best for you. I put on the one of conquering Grand Prix at level 7, but it's just it's up for every person to kind of a little bit more customization. And then the replay options, cool. Combine that with the 30-second clips you can upload. It's like it's pretty good stuff. And you talking about the music, Robert is always
it's so
and Twilight's
it's weird because
doing
it's not like there's a lot of variations in the songs, but it's
catchy. It's incredibly catchy.
Well, I mean,
there is
in the
gigantic variation in the songs.
Well, let me rephrase that. It's not like there's a lot of different songs. There's just a lot of variation within similar songs.
There's a lot of harmonic variation, but like that melody, you're right. It's across every song, and I think that's really cool. You know what I'm saying?
And then in the arena, which is the 4-player only friends where 2-player fight and the other 2 watch, like that music was even different than the regular party lobby we had. So it's like that was like, to me, that was the best version of the main theme, was in that arena when me and Terrell were just playing one-on-one last week. So that's good stuff, man. And
I'm about to say, if that badges concept can kind of bleed into the system OS as like an achievement system, where I feel like I'm actually getting something that make me want to play the game more, kind of like the badges and the points for the getting new arms.
Yeah,
that's what I want for an achievement. I don't need no fucking trophies for some imaginary score. Give me something I can use in the game I'm playing, to make me want to keep playing even longer than usual. Yeah, I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, give me some inspiration.
I mean, to me, I don't mind game-specific type stuff. Even though some of these are the types of achievements I always mock. It's like, oh, you played ARMS with the motion controls for the first time. Oh, you played ARMS with the controllers in the grip for the first time. And it's like, really?
But, well, they got to do that for like the casual who isn't doing a lot. Yeah. That way they're like, I wonder what the other 20-something badges are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's good stuff, and a couple more characters would be great. But I'm pretty happy with the game right now, and to transition into going from that and then turning on Splatoon 2 that night, like I'm really I don't know, I'm kind of disappointed in Splatoon right now. Like in comparison, I don't know if it's it's also the fact probably that I've been on like a bit of a losing streak as of late, but
it's true. It's just comes out
when I go in there and like exposed, still playing the same map 4 times in a row, and it's Moray Towers, and it's like this was in the first game. Like I'm just, I don't know, man. Going from ARMS, couple hours of really having fun with ARMS to trying Splatoon, and it was nothing but frustration.
Yeah, because someone didn't have Mario Kart.
Yeah, we were gonna play Mario Kart, but
excuse me, Jesus Christ! I'm sorry I didn't buy the game again.
Mario Kart never gets old, dude.
It does, like during a play session. I'll have fun, and then like after an hour, I'm like, I'm sick of getting.
Talk about frustration. That game frustrates the hell out of me.
Yeah, I know. I remember hearing those.
Those games frustrates me more than Splatoon or Pokken Tournament Online.
Splatoon's my junk, man. That's my thing.
I don't know. It's just weird. Like maybe I don't know if it was going from ARMS to that and having played so much ARMS this week, or if it was just the fact that I just keep losing. I don't know why. Nothing's changed except my internet speed got better. So I don't know if that's hurting me, but.
So you're playing with lag, and now you have less lag, and I was like, "Well, fuck."
Maybe I had an advantage, but
it was just for some people, man.
It was just more of sitting there stuck playing more a map I don't like anyway.
I hate Murray Towers too.
Stuck playing that.
I don't understand the hatred of that map.
They can't figure out a way to not have map rotation. Like, come on. Like that's
well, I think that's part of the issue. You go from a game that allows you to do literally anything you want with it for the most part to a game that restricts the choice of map you play on.
But I don't see the point. Like if you're gonna play, because they know people play Splatoon constantly, like 2-minute matches a million times over, right?
Yeah.
You need to be rotating it more than at least have 4 in the rotation, or even 6.
Or just don't have a rotation.
They don't even, I mean, do they even have 6?
Well, I mean, that's like because that was the point I was making. Eventually, they're going to come out with too many maps to where the rotation is going to be irrelevant. That's why they shortened the time between 1 and 2's rotation already.
They don't even need rotation, to be honest with you. In my opinion, I really don't think.
Well, they're eventually going to have to be able to do it anyway. That's why I find this kind of pointless to drag this whole thing out.
So you think they're gonna eventually they'll have more than 24 maps because it's 2 per 2 hours, so it's like
eventually, yeah. Considering they're still bringing back old maps now,
God, man,
and they're still making new maps. Okay. Eventually, I feel like the rotation is gonna get so bad to where they just kind of have to because they're trying to stop a problem that doesn't exist.
Yeah,
I don't even feel like I played more than 6 maps total in all of Splatoon right now.
I've only played
the illusion that it gives me though.
A couple times since it's been new, and then the Manta Marina.
I forgot
you be sitting there playing, like think you play like, you played like 1 billion matches, and then you look up, it's only been like an hour and 20 minutes.
Well, that's the other thing about them being like 3-minute matches and whatnot. Where it's like,
it sucks when you get in like right as the maps change, and it's 2 maps or at least 1 map you don't like, and it's like I'm stuck.
I think
here comes here comes
Murray
Towers and bye Kelp Dome, which I actually like. So bye.
Yeah, I mean, like Kelp Dome is so and it's an old map too. That's the thing. Like
they haven't changed them. It's all minor changes between all.
I feel like I play Murray Towers more than anything, and I'm tired of that.
Yeah, it is weird. That seems to pop up way more often than it needs to.
And that means that it does because more than one person is saying it.
I like when the maps are fairly open, like not too congested. Like
I like
it's just too vertical for its own good.
Yeah,
the one with like the stage and like that one's cool.
I love that one.
I never see it anymore. It's like
I like how he just set that up. It's like, hey man, that one stage I really like. I never see that stage.
Never. But
what I was gonna say is that like to me it just sucks because Splatoon 2 is just such a weird game for me because like I love Splatoon 1. I played it a shit ton, but I think I'm actually the least amount of time spent throughout this whole group, which right I'm not even a level 20. I'm like a level 17 or something.
Yeah,
I think the most fun I have is playing with you guys talking about random shit going on. I love doing that. That's if I'm not doing that, I just don't feel like playing.
I don't want to play.
I honestly don't play. The only time I play without friends is in the Splatfest because lately we haven't all been picking the same. And you got to have 4 players to have a friends team in the Splatfest.
Yeah.
That's really the only time. I will not play Splatoon if it's just me by myself. Like I'm not just going to go in and play online multiplayer matches without at least a couple people deciding ahead of time, hey, let's play Splatoon.
I do it all the time.
Get your ass handed to you constantly.
I go right in. I don't even look for nobody.
But it's not even fun. Like, I have fun on Pokemon and ARMS getting my ass handed to me, but with Splatoon, it just seems like I got Nintendo Ultra kicking my ass the whole time.
Yeah, those range blasters were ridiculous.
That got kind of out of
That was just a rough fucking night, man.
It was tough. I'm swimming in the ink with stealth squid or whatever, where you can't see him in the ink, and he just shoots one shot while I'm in the squid form and kills me. I'm like, what?
That was right where you are.
But yeah, so for me, like Splatoon's not even my top 5 games of the year right now. Like it's
wow.
It's ahead of Horizon Zero Dawn, I think. But
did you finish that?
No, I never finished it.
How the hell is it? How is it only barely ahead? Then?
That's not even a fair assessment, then.
Yeah,
what I played is okay, but
I'm glad I didn't buy it yet. Then,
hey man, you gotta wait for that definitive edition that comes out, man.
It's got that damn Assassin's Creed combat when you're fighting humans.
Don't
When you
tell
fight
me
humans,
that.
it's just the worst melee combat ever. And when you're fighting some of the bigger animals, you got some of the items you have really makes it interesting and strategic, but the rest of the time,
did you hear Assassin's Creed combat is my favorite?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's got like a lock-on system, kind of, so you can always.
Yes.
But then you're constantly running towards the camera and running into shit and getting killed because you can't see what you're running.
You want to know the reason why Drew didn't finish Horizon Zero Dawn? Because Zelda came out and showed how much better a game like that could
I'd already played Zelda. I bought it when ARMS came out.
You gotta.
Yeah, but here's the thing: you're still playing Zelda.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah,
you like 300 hours now.
I'm about to say you never stopped playing Zelda.
I got 100 shrines on Master Mode.
Oh my god!
All four.
Wow.
All four of the Divine Beasts.
We got a
all
badass
the memories. I'm just debating: do I want to get all the shrines and beat it, or just beat it, call it good until when Mario comes out, and then go back?
You went all the
I'm gonna just call it right. I'm gonna say Zelda is Juice's game of the year. I'm just gonna throw that out there right now. Like I don't believe Mario's gonna beat it for him. I really don't.
We'll see at the end of the week.
I don't know.
It'll get close.
I don't know, man.
That demo I played was pretty good. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. But let's get on to some Fire Emblem Warriors impressions from a couple guys that actually picked up the game and played it. I know Twilight, you were a big Fire Emblem Awakening fan. I don't know if you played Fates and the last one. Okay. And so what is your take on Fire Emblem Warriors as a Fire Emblem game and then as a continuation of Hyrule Warriors? Just kind of quick impression, if where you're feeling, how are you feeling about the game?
I was saying earlier that they give the feel of a Fire Emblem game, and they do, and it's all in like the menus and the way that they do exposition and dialogue and stuff like that. But it's all kind of an illusion for just another Dynasty Warriors game, right? Because you see all the similar mechanisms in Hyrule Warriors and in the other Dynasty Warrior games as far as how you upgrade and everything like that. It's all the same game. They just kind of present it differently. But I like the effort they went through to make it feel like a Fire Emblem game in the way that you move around the map and the way that the characters and stuff interact with each other. And I love that they all have just fully voice acted and really like feel like drawn like Fire Emblem characters. As a game, it's a Dynasty Warrior game. You know what I'm saying? It's like Call of Duty or any one of those other Battlefield, any one of those like annual or semi-annual biannual games that come out all the time. It's like a 7, you know what I'm saying, as far as like if I were to give it a score. But it's fun. It's undeniably fun, and it's great to have Crime or even the new characters, the new original characters for this game, just tearing through like hundreds of enemies at a time. That's just, you can't get no better than that. I wish the enemies were a little bit more aggressive, but I guess that would defeat the purpose. I don't know. It's great for me though.
All right, let's go to Terrell first, and then I'll ask some questions about it because I haven't played it, but I've been watching some gameplay. So, Terrell, what's your take on the game right now?
I'm I want to say about 12 hours in. I kind of played this game like a madman. I think it was like either Friday. And I agree with Twilight because it's just some of the smaller little additions, like how you can like get master seals and upgrade your characters' classes to make them stronger. Even the whole moving your characters around the map, even if you're not playing as them, to kind of get stuff done. Because I will say that's like one of my favorite improvements in this game is that the AI is a little bit better, at least for your allies. Where like sometimes you'll be doing something in the background, you'll hear, oh, your partner defeated such and such soldier or warrior or a captain, and you're like, oh well, damn, I didn't expect that, because usually in Dynasty Warriors games, if you're not doing it, then nothing's getting done. So I appreciate that. The only thing I really don't care about is that the story is so.
Yeah,
it's so. Oh look, it's so. Oh look, here's another warrior from another universe. Hi, we need to make friends so we can defeat this unnamed enemy that doesn't mean any fucking thing. And then like how you meet half of the cast of the characters is, oh look at this misunderstanding. You kidnapped my sister. No, I didn't. Let's fight. Oh, now I understand. Like it's very samey in its storytelling. But if I play, no one plays a Dynasty Warriors game for storytelling. So
no, not at all.
So
the gameplay is super fucking fun. I'll say that.
I was watching OJ's like 19-minute playthrough, and he, you got Lucina posing as Marth again. Seen that before. And then like you have to fight her, and it's just like Hyrule Warriors. Like even the captains, or even like the boss fights. To me, it looked like Fire, like especially Lucina's, was like no challenge at all. Maybe it's early in the game, and I remember in Hyrule Warriors there was some bosses that actually you had to put a different strategy towards. So I don't know if you're far
if
enough.
You only saw the Lucina in the mask part, that's like really like the first 2 hours of the game, maybe.
It was just like
that's the other thing. That's kind of going into the fan service, because I will say, they do a lot of let's reenact sequences from the games.
Yeah, I like Kingdom Hearts or something.
Yeah, so like it's not a hard fight, but then again, there aren't really. It's weird because I wouldn't say there's no real like super hard bosses, but I have lost characters in maps because that weapon triangle, that shit will catch you off guard. You think, oh, it doesn't fucking matter, and you run up with an axe user and hit somebody with a sword, and the dude with the sword only needs to hit you maybe like 2 or 3 times, and you're almost dead. And you're like, well, damn. So it's one of those things that if you're used to running around destroying everything, the weapon triangle will catch some people off guard, and you will lose units. I've had that happen to me twice.
Yeah,
where I wasn't prepared at all. I was like, oh shit, and my Camilla's dead. Well, damn.
Yeah, she's the one. I lost her to the bowman.
Yeah, see that shit, and people thinking, it's just like an extra like few hits. No, it's like 3.
Death on then.
Say what?
Playing it with permadeath on.
I didn't play it with permadeath on because I'm not man enough for that. See, I'll do that in the main games. I'm not gonna do that in this game where I'm not prepared for what happens. And oh my god, granted, they let you revive characters after the map, but I want them anyway.
So with Hyrule Warriors, I remember like there was a bit of a leveling up tree or whatever, and then it unlocked different combos, like more BBBB, few more B's on that combo, and then it did something different. Is that the same kind of like you have to select things to upgrade?
Yeah, you're upgrading your combos. You do get the upgrade. They do also have skills, which I didn't know about, which is the same skills you get in like Fire Emblem Awakening and Fates and stuff.
Yeah,
where they're like passive skills that kind of help you out, like boost strength, or you do more damage against certain users. And some of the skills also build your resistances to certain weapons. Like you can once you get the materials for it, you can add like seals or crests to be like, oh, you don't take as much damage from a sword user or a lance user or a mage or something. Like they're beneficial, but it's still that same kind of stuff you would do in a normal Dynasty War. Like Hyrule Warriors had the same kind of stuff, just maybe not as in depth, but it was just very similar in that sense.
All right, what about is there just like an opening cinematic and then the rest of the game is just like the still drawings talking to each other, or is there like cinematics in between?
Sure.
Yeah, that's cutscenes.
All right.
They look great.
That's what I was gonna say, because they look great on some of the previews I've seen, and then just watching the dialogue.
And some of the humor is actually funny. Like how there's in Fire Emblem Fates, at least there's the time travel element where parents are meeting their kids and stuff. Well, in one scene there's a kid who meets their parent, and
I know,
like,
I know,
Mother,
I know.
Let me tell you something that only a child would know. She's like, it's okay, all right, I believe you. But it's happening in the background while the main exposition is going on, which is even funnier because it's like they really thought about it. They really put some time into that. Yeah,
there's some nice nods, and the characters are at least properly represented. It's not like they don't act the way you know them from the games.
And I like that they, I understand the fury with not having all of the Fire Emblem characters, from all the history, but I don't think they would have been able to do what they did story-wise if they had put everybody in there, because it would have become just so clouded and convoluted and, just nonsensical. You wouldn't really be able to keep track of everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's already kind of hard with just the few characters they do have.
Yeah, especially when you realize how some of them in the later half of the game are introduced. Like I'm not gonna spoil it, but I'll put it this way. The way corn is introduced in the game is fucking stupid. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
I'm not gonna go into detail why. Just know when you get to it, it's fucking stupid.
Is corn fun to play with though?
Yeah, it's because of the whole mix of dragon with her like normal sword techniques. So she's fun. She's super acrobatic and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
It's just story wise, you're literally gonna see her and be like, "Is that it? Oh yeah, that's it. Oh, all right then."
So did anybody try out the performance mode where you're playing 60 frames per second? Or
yeah,
I tried them both out. I'm not super big on either, specs and stuff like that. So I'd have to like really train my eye to really see if the difference is that huge. But there is a difference. I mean,
there is a
quality and performance.
It's just crazy that it can just do that from the menu without having to reboot the game. Like that's what I thought it was going to be like.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this. I don't think the performance is a lock 60.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't feel like it's lock 60. It might be like it's that thing where it's higher than 30, but I don't think it's at 60 all the time. It doesn't feel like it. Because literally I've been playing on quality more because performance doesn't really make a difference for me.
Yeah, I like quality because it makes the actual stuff look better.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, that'd be interesting to see what the actual frame rate is because, I mean, if it was like a lock 60, I think that would be a little more significant.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just interesting to me that they could just do that right from the menu of the game and not have to, like I said, reboot the software or something. Like it's just that access is just that easy. Watching, I don't know who did a comparison. But I just wonder if you guys notice anything on like the input of the controls or anything from either mode. Like, does one feel like it's more responsive or anything?
Nah, I can't honestly say I know. I can tell.
Yeah, I'd say performance. You can tell it's moving at a faster pace, but because the game's already kind of fast paced as it is, it doesn't translate to wow. It feels like I'm playing the game like in a whole. Like way better, or it's more responsive. It's just kind of like, oh, when I'm running across the field, it doesn't look as slow anymore.
Yeah,
that's like honestly, that's the best part when you can tell is running to a fort to take it down. That's when you can tell there's a difference. During like an actual throwing out your hits, it doesn't look really any different, personally.
Nah.
All right, and then I know T played a lot of these Musu games over the years. Do you think, like, is there a room for them or an opening for them to, like, change the formula of these games at all? Like, because it just seems like it's the same. You got a base. You got to go beat the captain. Then your guys kind of fill that base. Like, is there any way that they could – because I've only played Iron Warriors, so I don't know. Like, is that formula something that you guys think maybe needs to be changed or maybe they can expand upon it? Or is this just locked – and this is how it's going to be?
I think that's the reason why they've been doing a lot of Theme Warriors games, because whatever the property they're basing it off of tends to add in their own gameplay elements. Like Power Warriors had stuff in it that not every Musu game has in it. I was playing before that. I was playing One Piece Pirate Warriors. That was like the pirate. That was the Warriors game I really was playing a lot, and that has elements from the anime it's based off of. Like, I think that's the reason why they're doing the theme version. Also, I heard they're working on a completely new engine for Dynasty Warriors 9, so I'm curious to see how that's gonna go.
I think they ought to do like how they did with Monster Hunter. I mean, I've been saying for Monster Hunter since 4 Ultimate came out that they need to update the engine, and so that's what they did with Monster Hunter World. Like, just kind of like rebuild the whole thing from the ground up and add new elements to it. So I can't imagine how Dynasty Warriors is going to be once they actually change the engine from whatever engine they've been using for the last 10 years.
Yeah, but they've been reusing the shit out of the engine they're currently using.
Yeah, and that's a Japanese thing. That's something they tend to do.
Because they ain't got that Western money. Damn it, that's why.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Well, that's true.
But
so, T, I don't want to interrupt you text or messaging about white goth chicks, but
What?
What? We in the chat acting a fool.
Bruce from The Craft. I love that movie. But anyway, any thoughts on the Warriors franchise? If especially if Nintendo's going to keep doing partnerships, do you think there's anything they could do or any changes they could make to break the formula up from just the same old what it's been?
It's a tricky thing, right? It's like you have this audience who seem to be there pretty much every time you put a game out. How much can you really mess with it before they're like, hey, what you doing? I mean, I don't really know, and obviously you don't know until somebody does something different. That's like, oh, that's cool. Why didn't you think of that? I can't think of anything at this point, especially with what Hyrule Warriors and Fire Emblem Warriors is kind of bringing to the table with its variations on the gameplay in it. So I'm not sure. That's a tough one.
From playing Hyrule Warriors, I can tell you for sure. Like, it's just that the combos with the enemies that just they're there just to take the hits and get killed.
Flash,
but if they could somehow add a little more depth to boss fights and maybe mix it up where it's more than just, oh, this person's gonna block, so I gotta wait till they attack and get tired, then there's an opening. It seems like there could be some combat.
I do wish they would do something, I guess, about the whack-a-mole nature of Warriors games, where it's just, oh, you're losing this fort, go run over there now. Oh, go over here now. Maybe something a little bit more streamlined. I don't know, more strategic than that.
Well, yeah, because Fire Emblem Warriors kind of does that with the whole making your allies a little bit more competent.
Yeah.
But in certain situations, it'll still boil down to, well, I need to take control of this particular character to handle all of this. Oh, I guess it's time back to go to the other fort again.
Yeah, it's just a series of running to different forts.
Yeah, well, it's one of those games I'm intrigued, and if there's like nothing in January, or I'll still be playing Xenoblade in January, but February or March, I can see myself picking it up down the road. I just really think that a week before Mario was like kiss of death, man. That it should have, like I always said, they should have said, I know Twilight's gonna probably disagree, but instead of bringing out another Wii U remastered of having Pokken Fighter, another fighting game on the Switch, and launched it with the Japanese version in September. To me, that seemed like that would have been the better option. But
no,
why is everybody afraid of December?
You don't want to compete with Mario. Dynasty Warriors, it didn't matter. I don't think it would have mattered when they would have released it. I think it would be better to release a game like that around the time where attention to the Switch is at its height. So when you have a Mario game coming out, people are just looking at the Switch in general. You got Mario coming out, but Switch has a million great games.
But Fire Emblem would have still been there if it come out earlier. Then all these new owners Mario would have seen Fire Emblem there too.
It'd be fairly new though.
I don't think Fire Emblem. I think Fire Emblem actually benefits from being this close to Mario.
I don't know. I actually would have bought it.
I was going to buy it until that happened, and I know Robert was that, and somebody else in the chat recently was saying that same thing. But that's 3 people out of millions, so who knows? But
we don't even know yet. The game has been out for a couple of days. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if it flops, it won't be because of Mario.
I've seen a lot of people on it.
You know what I'm saying? But I think people are interested because people just like a bunch of games to come out. That's like saying, the games coming out in November are going to struggle because Mario came out before them. I don't think that's true.
I always thought it would be a tougher sell because everybody likes Fire Emblem. Obviously Awakening brought everybody into the franchise, or a lot of people anyway. But it doesn't have the appeal that Hyrule Warriors has. It doesn't have that name recognition of Zelda even.
Yeah,
it was gonna be a tougher sell to begin with. I didn't expect it to do better than Hyrule Warriors did.
I kind of, with the way Fire Emblem's been selling in Japan too, but
they're not.
But Musu
is Musu, and Japanese gamers are gonna buy.
But they went out and bought Hyrule Warriors, and they didn't go out and buy Fire Emblem Warriors, which is usually Zelda games just don't do as well in Japan. But Hyrule Warriors still did pretty well.
They were thirsty, man. Wii U had no games.
That's also true. Think about when Super Mario 3D World came out. do you think it would have mattered to anybody if, like, they say, for instance, they have released a Doom or whatever equivalent type of games were coming out at the time? Like, I don't think that Mario 3D World would have affected that, whether those games came out right before or right after. Because
I mean,
people
what you have,
wanted
like
games on
Pikmin,
the system.
you had Pikmin and like
Yeah, Wonderful 101.
and then that was it.
Sonic and
Yeah.
Oh, Sonic, yeah.
And I think you had Rayman.
They were, we talking about month gaps though. We're not talking about a couple weeks
between one game.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, I think these games, I think Nintendo realizes that these games build off of each other as opposed to needing to separate them for whatever reason. You know, if you can come out with the game, come out with the damn game.
And Hyrule Wars can keep selling because it has DLC and people will jump in then, and you know it'll keep selling.
I think people are coming around.
Did I say Hyrule or Fire Emblem?
You said Hyrule, but
yeah,
I know what you meant.
Sorry. We know you, man. We know.
So, well, it'll be interesting to see. Like for me, it's just weird because the Wii, like we always talked about, because of the droughts and getting one game a month or not even sometimes, I felt. Yeah, there was mostly negatives surrounding that, but the positives were you could really, unless you didn't like the game, but if you liked the game, it was a good game, you could really focus on that game, and that's just not going to be, that's not going to happen with the Switch from this day on. That's done.
I don't think that's, look, if you like the game, you're going to focus on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of music out. You can buy a million different CDs, but if you like one CD, even though there's 5 other CDs that you also really like, you're gonna keep playing that one. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think personally that if more games had come out for the Wii U, then Smash Brothers would have sold even better than it did. Mario Kart would have sold even better than it did, because these games build interest. You know what I'm saying? These games build interest for other games. They build interest for the system. You know, and I don't think I'm really not convinced that, you know, if you're strategic about it anyway, if you don't release, like, say for instance, if you don't release like Uncharted right next to what's another big PlayStation IP? I don't know, like Final Fantasy VII Remake. You know, you wouldn't put those two games right next to each other. You would put Smash Brothers right next to Mario Odyssey, but you would put Doom next to Mario Odyssey, or you would put you know, Pokken next to Mario Odyssey to boost the interest. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got something for everybody, so that keeps people. I think people. If you like Fire Emblem but you don't like Mario, and you like a lot of other games on the Switch, and you got a Switch, say for ARMS or something, and you don't even care about Mario, you might be more convinced to buy Mario now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think there's mostly good coming from that having these games, but the one thing for me is just to be able to just focus on a game and give it a chance. Like, there's games I wouldn't have bought if there was a crowded library of games coming out. I probably wouldn't have bought Xenoblade Chronicles X if there was a bunch of other games to play and, you know, come around the same time. But I gave that game a chance and turned out to be one of my favorite Wii U games.
Yep.
And I had months to like really focus on it. But so, you know, those days are gone. And I think most people would agree it's going to be for the better. But some games will suffer. Some games will suffer. I mean,
I think most of the indie games and the real small games will.
We've all had like multiple consoles, right? Like this isn't a new thing. It's a newer thing on the for the Nintendo fans, because we had 4.5 years of the Wii U, so where the games didn't come out as fast. So, but we still had other consoles at that time. I had a 360. I'm sure you guys had something else, PS3 or something. So it's not like it was anything that it's not like this is anything that dramatic.
No.
And this is good for people who own multiple consoles or just the Switch. Like right now, I'm just a Switch gamer. That's it. You know, and I don't feel like I'm dealing with a drought, but at the same time, if I had a PlayStation 4, which I probably will get,
you had a PlayStation 4, it'd be sitting there.
What would you be playing?
If I had a PlayStation 4, I'd still have time to play all the other stuff. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be like
be sitting there drying up like mine.
I'd be very broke, actually.
But
PS4 I can borrow. I need to put mine on it.
Yeah, I only use it for watching Nintendo Directs.
That's hilarious.
But all right, let's get on this topic of EA. I know somebody in the chat was just before we left was just like fuck EA, fuck EA.
Yeah, fuck EA though.
Is it Visceral?
Yeah, visceral.
Yeah, visceral.
No bullshit. Top 3 7th gen games for me. I mean, behind Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 was Dead Space. Like for real. One of the best like horror type games, scary games, whatever. It's very linear, but just extremely polished, and like from sound design to the upgrading system, everything was awesome about it. I love that game. I played through it 3 times, watched the anime. Was it a movie, I think? And I think it was a short, like 40 minutes or something, but really got it. Dead Space 2 was great. Dead Space 3 had never played after hearing a bunch of people say they pulled a Resident Evil 5 and added this co-op stuff and kind of ruined the formula. But so that company was working on a Star Wars game. Well, we talked about last week how Battlefront 2 to me was just boring and just, it just feels like Battlefield with Star Wars characters. But I was kind of just not vocal about it, but I was anticipating this game because of the types of games they made, and I was hoping they'd get back on form and make a great Star Wars game, which I don't feel we've had since, I don't know, GameCube maybe. I didn't play the Force Unleashed.
Force Unleashed game was pretty good. I liked it.
And then they find out that EA not just decides after seeing, hey, it's a single player, linear, story driven game. Instead of just changing it, they just shut down the studio. So that's another one. I forget what other one. Criterion. Pretty much the BioWare's, what is that phrase? They're not what they used to be. Of their former self. Well, I can't think of the expression, but they're not what they used to be in other studios they've shut down after buying. And this one, to me, this really sucked. Now, the one part about it I wasn't excited about was the lead person, a lead writer, whatever, is the Uncharted, Amy. I forget her full name, but she was basically in charge of Uncharted. All the Uncharted based on the story, which a lot of people loved, and I'd rather have better gameplay. But so I wasn't super excited about her involvement. But the fact that they couldn't just say, "Hey, let's change some things here." Nope, they shut down the studio, and now they're phrased it like they want a more broad type of game. Is it going to be an online type of game, or do they mean broad by having microtransactions? Who knows? But
it'll probably be a little bit of all that. If people like the open world, pick up.
And it's like, and then there was a story today. I don't know how true it was about an EA interview, and they're talking about how much money they can make from microtransactions and how that's like the business model that brings in all this money. And it's like, we're to a point where you got other companies, Xbox saying they're going to get rid of single player games, aren't the focus, they can't sell. And to me, it's a shame. And I forget, is it just Visceral, or was it Visceral? What was their full?
Visceral Games.
Was it just Visceral Games? I don't know.
Yeah, Visceral Games, yeah. That's what it is.
Just to shut them down, like, you're done. Like, just because they didn't agree with the direction they were taking. So I know T, you already made a fuck EA video.
No. I need to go in.
Here comes the part 2, everybody. Let's go, baby.
I won't take up too much time, but I have to go in because fuck EA, right? Everything they touch turns to shit, and like I wouldn't care if this is some other game or whatever, but this is like the Star Wars franchise, and they have exclusive rights to it as far as video games go. If I'm not wrong about that, that's right?
Yeah.
And I just look at what they've done. I look at first of all, look what they did to oh my gosh, Star Wars. Battlefront. Yeah,
the first Battlefront was just.
But the RPG one on Xbox.
Knights of the
Old Republic. Look what happened in that when they got in and screwed up Knights of the Old Republic 2. Look what happened to that. Burnout. I love Burnout when it was Criterion and Acclaim publishing it. Like, it was great. It was a great series then. Where's Burnout now? Can anybody tell me? Right.
I didn't even like Burnout 3 because of the changes.
Yeah, I didn't care for it. I mean, I played it, but it wasn't the same to me. Like,
that pissed me off. I love Burnout.
And like, to me, like, EA is like a Borg ship for you Star Trekkies out there. It's like a Borg ship flying through the space that is the gaming industry and just consuming everything until it's the same shit that they make, and that's why I can't stand them. They're just a giant conglomerate at this point. And I read the article, and it felt right. Some of the stuff seemed a little bit off, but it just seems like that's what they care about. They don't care. Look what happened to. I left out Sim City. Look what happened. Look what that travesty.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Mass Effect. They just destroyed BioWare at this point. Their whole reputation is ruined.
Yeah.
And it's just like, this is what EA does. They are a giant Borg ship flying through the industry, consuming everything, and turning it to shit.
Now they just need to buy Sonic.
Oh boy!
Wow, you're fucking.
Sonic doesn't need any help.
They just need to
awesome.
bury that. Sorry.
Hey man, Mania was good. Eat a dick.
We're waiting on Sonic feces to see what happens.
I did want to just make one quick point because I'm not as into EA games as some people were when they were tolerable. But I do find it kind of fucking funny that this is the worst year for them to make statements about how there is no money in single player games, as if games like Nier selling over 1 million, and Persona and Zelda and Horizon and even Cuphead recently you've heard is already past 1 million.
Yeah.
And then you got Mario coming out, which we all know will sell at least 1 million, and that's at the least
2 million in the first week.
Yeah, so it's like the year you're talking about how there is no money in single player games and we need to move towards some more microtransactions and multiplayer games. All these fucking single player games are out here making money, and it's not like it's just Nintendo platforms. I'm talking about everybody.
Dude, that is cold.
This should have been my first point. I'll let you guys have it. But Amy Hennig, right? I totally botched her name last time for some reason. I called her Amy Pascal from Sony. But Amy Hennig, we go back. Like, this lady cares about video games. Like, the first time I remember her was on Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver. Like, that was the first thing I remember her touching. I remember her name. And that game was amazing. And the stuff they were trying to do for that, and her leading that whole show, was how that game. I think there was like a Did You Know Gaming or something on that at one point. Go check it out because it's great. And talks. They have a little interview with her, and she talks. I don't think it was Did You Know Gaming, but I think if you look that up, you'll find the video for that. But like, she loves video gaming. Then she obviously went on to one of my other favorite series of all time, Uncharted, and her footprints can be felt in that game. And then she moved on. They hired her specifically knowing her track record and what she does. She does first or single player, big single player games, story driven games. That's what she does. So to be surprised when she, trying to do this Star Wars game that's like a big single player narrative, and to just shut her down, that is just icky to me. It's just like, she should have more respect in the industry than you just shut her down like that. Like, I just hate EA all around at this point. They have nothing, I don't mind EA what they do, but when they take the games and that I love back in the day, and they turn them to shit, like I said, that's what drives me crazy. And Star Wars is one of my favorite, franchises, and to have it stuck behind those assholes is just driving me insane. So, all right, I'm done.
All right, anybody else follow that? I will say, to Terrell's point, a lot of those single player games you mentioned that sold well, not too many of them needed to sell 10 million to make a profit, so they got these. It's not just about, well, we can't make the single player game because it isn't going to sell as well. To them, they got to get out of this mindset that they got to spend hundreds of millions of dollars and have this, top tier cinematics and all that. Like, and maybe the Star Wars game was going to be too expensive to be a single player game. I don't know, but yeah, you don't have to make it a AAA budget wise game and be a single player game. Nintendo
Somebody feeding
All right,
goats.
what's that noise? What's that noise? Mute your mic. Whoever's got banging
Hold
going
on, it's me. I'm gonna pause it. I'm gonna mute myself.
All right.
He muted himself mid-sentence.
Legend of Zelda, I guess, needed to sell 2 million, so they put a lot into that.
Well, that was because they kept kind of raising the stakes in that game. They went,
And Red Dead, I'm guessing it's going to be an expensive game, but that's going to sell ridiculous. But they can find a way to make a smaller game.
Yeah.
And
Rockstar
like I said,
does that. They do smaller things.
Maybe the budget of this Star Wars game was that set to be like ridiculous. We don't know, but you still think Star Wars fans and Uncharted fans and Dead Space fans would have been excited for this game, and I don't know, it just really sucks. So we'll never probably, maybe years down the road, we'll find out what this game was going to be or what the idea was. But to me, the only thing about Battlefront 2 that's even remotely interesting is the original story that takes place after Return of the Jedi.
Right.
That to me is interesting. I think they had a huge opportunity. But again, we don't know what the final game is going to be. We don't know what this was going to be, but it just seems like it's going to become this game everyone's going to be mad about with season passes and microtransactions and loot boxes and all that one, if this game ever even comes out. Now they're talking like 2019 or beyond.
And what pisses me off is they're saying we want to make a game that the fans don't want that shit.
Yeah.
Like, stop hiding behind the fans by saying, "Oh, this is what the fans want." People, sheep will end up buying this stuff, and that's to them. That's the fans. So we're gonna go with that because it's making us money, and that's just a bogus way to, put it. I hate EA, man. I hate them.
I mean, just like I said, I think maybe even last week, I would have rather had Activision have the Star Wars
totally,
and make a Call of Duty style game with Star Wars characters and lightsabers. Like, to me, that would have been a better option. I
think they would have made smaller games with it. They would have made, because there's still merit in making a mid-tier game. That's what killed the industry for the most part. When you went from the 6th gen to the 7th gen, is that nobody wanted to make those mid-tier games anymore. It was all about making the huge, profit game. And, luckily we have the indie community now kind of filling that gap. But we can't sustain, like, with 4 or 5 major publishers only doing the same thing, making the same type of games.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's just not sustainable, man.
And it's just, again, but for me, just so thankful Nintendo's doing what they're doing. Like, said it with the Wii U and now with the Switch, it's even more apparent. It's like, thank God for Nintendo. Just, they can make a huge game like Breath of the Wild. Mario Odyssey looks like it's, going to be huge. Yeah. But then they also can throw they'll put a Kirby game out.
Snipper clips. They can invest in the snipper clips.
ARMS. ARMS isn't this huge, big, huge budgeted game, but it's still polished and still has a lot of originality and stuff. And then the indie games are doing something similar. So,
dude, I've been saying this shit since I got on YouTube, 5 years ago or whatever it was, that it's like music where these small independent label musicians are making all this amazing ass music off of the money they make at the diner that they wait tables at, dude. They making better music. And you got cats, with $1 million budgets, multi-million-dollar budgets that are coming out with crap. It's like hot for a second and then it dies off. Have y'all heard of Fetty Wap since last year? Come on.
Fetty Wap.
When the last time you heard about Fetty Wap? Really, so screw that.
The gamers of today aren't helping the situation either. Because
no, they're not helping. That's the other thing. It's like, this wouldn't be a thing if we didn't allow it to be a thing.
Yep.
You got people mad if a game doesn't have DLC. Like, you actually have to.
It's strange out there, man. It's strange.
And the amount of those FIFA coins and all these other things they sell probably more than they make for the actual game themselves. You know.
Ugh. And there's nothing worse than a
EA bragged about.
Go ahead.
I was just saying, EA bragged one time about making over $1 billion in DLC stuff.
Yeah,
just on DLC.
I just get grossed out at like proprietary currency for these different games and different like corporations and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like EA coins and shit. Like, come on, man. Like, really?
Yeah, they know better than like like the little crappy cell phone games. What they do. They know better than that.
Oh, it's exactly that. Yeah,
it's the same thing now.
They've seen that model and it works. And people talked all that shit about Nintendo needing to go mobile. Y'all see what's happening now? That all of these companies are essentially going mobile in terms of how they dish out their content. It's crazy, dude.
Yeah, I guess we can let's just jump right into the other third party kind of Bandai Namco.
Oh, this is good.
Another one.
Revealed Dragon Ball Fighter Z is coming out January 26th or something. Xbox, PC, PS4.
Yeah.
18 characters, $60 game, and then a $40 season pass. Unless you get it early, then it's $35, which only gives you 8 additional characters. So almost doubling the price of the game to get like just over a third of the 30% more characters. and then there's like a collector's edition that's $135, comes with the statue of Goku, and then doesn't include the season pass.
Wow.
Come on, man.
It's like
not well. I wanna just have my little moment here so just humor me for a second.
I know where you're going, but go ahead.
Because I'm already fucking annoyed because of the really small news that technically it's Bandai Namco anyway, even though technically Koei Tecmo made this game, where they announced earlier this morning, oh, well, guess what, guys? You like it, for those who bought who are fans of One Piece, guess what? They're putting out Pirate Warriors 3 again. Pirate Warriors 3. Here's the thing. Pirate Warriors 3 is at this point a 2-year-old game going into a 3-year-old game. And oh, by the way, it has no online play. We're gonna take that out. We're gonna give you local play.
No online co-op.
Okay, so you do that this morning. And I'm like, I'm a little annoyed, but okay, whatever. And then you throw this shit out. And as someone who has played Dragon Ball Z games for a long time, this is like the first one since like the Budokai series, the Tenkaichi Budokai series, that looked worth a damn in the grand scheme of things. Everything was fine. You were the fucking golden child. And then Bandai all of a sudden wanted to sneak up and be like, hey, shh, listen, I know you're enjoying this, but I need to just pull you out for a second. I need you to spend this extra $30 for this game. Yeah. And if I remember right, aren't they the ones who are publishing Project Cars?
Look, I know you're enjoying this and you feel safe, but I need to take this rubber off and go back up in you.
Yeah, so it's like so these same dudes a few weeks ago talking about, oh, well, if you're interested in Project Cars 2, let us know, promote the shit out of our game that's not coming to your console. And by the way, the developer fucked you on. And then right afterwards, oh, by the way, for the rest of you, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, don't think we forgot about you. We'll take the condom off for you too, guys. Don't worry. We're gonna make you spend $80 on a fighting game, or $180 if you want to.
$180.
So we're gonna take the condom off, stick it in sand first.
And we're gonna make this bitch feel like sandpaper. And I'm just like, what is this shit? And for some reason, fighting games, because Capcom has been doing this a lot with Street Fighter's little arcade edition coming out next year. Although they at least are being fair about it and saying if you already own the game, it's just a free update for you. Cool. That's better than what they usually do. We know there will eventually be a Marvel's Capcom Infinite bullshit and all the shit they did with Street Fighter 4. I mean, and it's just like, why is it that fighting games get the shortest end of the stick, and why are people still paying for this shit? But no one wanted to fucking support King of Fighters when that shit came out, and it didn't have any issues other than the graphics not looking great. And Tekken hasn't had any real issues either, from what I've heard. But but it's okay if we do it with the Golden Children. I'm just, man.
Yo, I got an answer for that, bro.
Go ahead.
I'm telling you. it's been like 20 years since we were youngsters, right? Asking our parents for shit.
Right.
Y'all realize that we are like the minority, and so we're discerning about the money we spend. But people nowadays are clueless, bro. It's like Mr. T said, they're sheeple, and so they see these propositions as actually legit because they came around after the fact. You know what I'm saying? These companies
they didn't know any better. They came up not knowing any better.
These companies took advantage of the naive nature of the new generation coming up. I mean, you didn't see this kind of stuff happening even when the PS3, Xbox, and Wii was coming out. You didn't see this level of craziness. You know what I'm saying? And DLC still had to kind of be seriously like significant for you to want to buy it. Soul Calibur. I remember the first DLC I ever bought, period, was Darth Vader and Soul Calibur on the Xbox 360. I think I paid like $5 or $6, $7 for Darth Vader. Who doesn't want Darth Vader and Soul Calibur? That's some significant shit, right? But it came with like other stuff as well, extra other DLC and his story mode and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? So it made sense. But now the shit don't even make sense, man. You got to pay to play.
Well, yeah, and then you even compare it to other fighting games. Like I think Street Fighter's season pass was like $20, and you only got like 5 or 6 characters, and you also got there were additions to the game. I think Dragon Ball FighterZ is literally you get 8 characters. I think you get like different colors for those characters, which is when the fuck has that been like a selling point of DLC? Every fighter gets. Hell, I just got Lola Pop for free, and she came with 4 colors.
You hit the damn D-pad.
Smash Brothers come with like 16 colors or some shit like that.
You press the D-pad before you press start, and you get a different goddamn color. You don't even download that shit.
Yo, why the fuck is that a selling point for a $35 DLC season pass?
And they don't even tell you the characters, but they're trying. If you get it now, then you can be part of the beta.
Man, fuck the beta. Yeah. The beta should be
guinea pigs.
That's the beta.
That is insane.
I'm so fucking mad.
I don't
want to be a part of something, man. You got to be. This is psychological. This is
oh no.
Who said it?
Guys, no. Wait a minute. I found the picture that tells you all the features of the $35 season pass. It's not only 8 new playable characters. Each fighter comes with a respective stamp. Lobby avatars in the alternate colors. So I'm paying $35 for the fucking 8 characters, some color variations that should come with the characters regardless. Fucking stamps and lobby avatars. Eat a dick.
And you compare that to like a Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and what you got with that game, all in the game.
Ooh, how many characters?
It's embarrassing. Yeah,
in a game that's old as dirt, that's older than most games.
Dreamcast?
That's Dreamcast, yeah.
It's on a dead system. I mean, come on, man.
It's embarrassing.
About a few years ago, and there's like 60 characters in Smash Brothers.
The saddest thing is like Bandai Namco was this, like Terrell was alluding to, that they came out with this game and everybody was excited. Like you had everybody, you had them excited. It's like, oh, this is the first time I want to play a Dragon Ball Z game in a long time since the GameCube for me. And it's just like,
and you screwed it up.
You messed it up.
And why do they know how do they already have decided we're going to bring 8 characters? Like the fact that they already know there's going to be 8 tells me they already know which ones they are. And it's just a fact of
they've been holding them bitches.
We want to get the game out in January, and so we can't get all these characters ready. Whereas Nintendo would have just said, well, we'll release the game and we'll give you free new stuff later. They're just making it part of the season pass. And like I was saying earlier, like I don't know if anyone heard me, but I don't want this game on Switch anymore.
Like, I don't want it at all anymore.
Yeah, I don't even. I mean,
I don't want this version of it. I want the definitive,
the ultra super hyper mega.
Unless they bring,
because you know it's fucking coming
from now.
Yeah, I will never touch this version.
But I hate having to look at these Japanese fighting games and think that, like, okay, well, I'm gonna just wait till the ultra version comes out 2 years from now. I just want to play I just want to be like excited for the game now.
Yeah, you expect that from the West, but the East is starting to do it. Like, oh no.
Yeah,
that's why I'm scared for Smash Brothers, y'all. If they put it in
Smash Brothers already trying some bullshit. Like, I would not support none of that stuff either.
Yeah, they tried it. They tried it. The characters, I mean, sort of kind of made sense.
The me costumes though, was never.
The me stuff was the dumbest shit, but at least the characters themselves, I believe we're going for what, $4.99 and $5.99.
Here's the difference. Here's the difference. A lot of that shit, did you even think about it? Like, a lot of that stuff was completely unnecessary to the game.
Completely unnecessary. I'm
like with Dragon Ball Fighters, I don't even know how many the original. Like, what's the initial
18.
roster? 18. So you got 18 characters. Okay, that's pretty cool. Actually, that's a decent amount of characters.
Except some are probably sounds like a little bit of duplicates, but still, there's 18.
Yeah, if you got duplicates, I'm not trying to spend $40 just to complete the game, to finish it.
$100
Like 18 characters, you add 8. What is that? That's 26. I don't know how to do math. That's 26 characters. Smash Brothers has 60. Marvel vs. Capcom has what? About the same, like 50-something characters, 40-something characters, something like that.
Yeah. I'm looking right now, actually.
Come on, man. Come on. Like, what are y'all doing?
Well, Arms didn't have had 10 at launch. With
10 going into what, 12 now?
Yeah, and I mean,
talking about
how much you paying for the extra stuff?
Nothing.
We were talking about. I haven't paid a single bit of DLC for Arms. But we were talking about budgets of games, right? I know for a fact Dragon Ball Z Fighters is not that huge of a budget game.
Of course
not. I know that they didn't need to make.
Well, yeah.
To use all that.
I just want to put this in perspective. They're gonna sit here and charge for DLC that get the roster up to 26, and Marvel's Capcom Infinite started with 30. let me get this straight. So a game that has, and also the DLC, I mean the season pass for Infinite, which is still bullshit. I want this to be stated, but at least comes with only 2 less characters. So comes with 6 characters. And I believe it's $30. Comes out with 6 characters and some bullshit in the same level of bullshit with like the different outfits and whatnot. But Infinite's DLC is better than fucking Dragon Ball Fighters at this point.
That's pretty sad.
And and Infinite is not a good game in terms of roster nor in terms of practices with the fans
or visual art styles.
That too. But we're not gonna get that's a long list. We ain't got all the time in the world for this shit. All right.
At least Dragon Ball has an amazing art style, but
I fucking love the way I love this game.
It looks great.
Other than the goddamn DLC bullshit, that makes me mad.
We didn't talk about Fire Emblem having kind of a smaller roster than I was expecting, and then the season pass is $20 for what?
You know what pisses me off about Fire Emblems though? Is that they're characters that are already in the game.
They're already in the game?
Yeah, like it got leaked that each DLC pack at least features a few characters who are NPCs in the game. Like, I believe the first one is Fates, and there are 3. Each DLC pack has 3 new characters in it. Fates' DLC pack, 2 of the 3 characters are already in the game as NPCs, which is Niles and Oboro. The only new character is Azura. I think in Shadow Dragons, it's a similar situation where 2 of the characters are new, and one of them's already in the game. And in Awakening, one of the characters is already in the game, and the other 2 characters are new.
Okay, but let's do the math. How many characters in each DLC pack?
3.
So how many DLC packs?
3.
It's 3. It's $20 for 9 characters.
For 9 characters versus
9 characters. Well, no, because also you're getting new history mode maps, new models, and I believe new support conversations. So
still bullshit, but
still much better.
Less smelly.
Yeah, like that's what trips me out. How is a game? how are games that have just as shitty practices looking this much better compared to a game that was golden until today? Nobody had any problems with this game until today. This makes me mad.
And it isn't just
like it was going to be like the game that brought back just that classic, good old fashioned, just fighting game that just comes out, motherfuckers just play this shit. You know what I'm saying? It looked like it was harkening back to that time. But
fuck me, man. I'm mad. That just ruined. That's just. I hate it when I saw that shit. I saw the January 26th. It's like cool, and then like a scroll down a little bit. There's that DLC, and you're just like, ah.
And then I see somebody posting on the in the chat just now. Vizzo Red Grunt R34. It's funny that the DLC characters of Fighter Z is just Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Vegeta.
Oh God, yeah, I forgot about that.
Is that the truth? I thought they just turned it into. Wow.
So 2 of the 8 are just
it's reskins with different color hair. If you know anything about DBZ, usually when they do different versions of Goku and Vegeta, it's literally the same character with like some very slight variations. Which is what Super Saiyan Blue, Goku, and Vegeta are. Because I know because they are DLC. They're not in the main game. I forgot about that.
Is it day one DLC, or are they at least gonna wait a little while? At least
if I look on Twitter,
we should make a prediction right before that game comes out. Maybe they'll have already announced it, but I have a feeling it ain't going to take long for those 8 characters to release. Like within 2 months or less.
You know what also pissed me off when I looked at the Twitter announcement for it? Guess what the first comment is? When can I pre-order on the PSN?
Wow.
They don't
see what I'm saying?
They don't care, man.
Why in the fuck is that?
So that's a good. Oh, it's getting DLC. That means it's a better game.
Oh man, but then you got Tekken over here. Like, what the fuck? Tekken's sitting over here pretty and done nothing wrong.
Yep.
And that game doesn't get nowhere near the amount of love it deserves.
You know what? Tekken gonna be next.
Man, I hope not.
But I don't think Tekken's characters have as much recognizability. I don't think they have as much. I think Tekken kind of got like diluted a little bit. They at one point they did almost have too many characters that they needed to pull back and like develop some recognition. Because I mean, most people don't recognize. I mean, even Devil Jin.
I'm just saying they're just not gonna take a risk on Tekken like that again. They're gonna have their DLC practices going on next time too.
Yeah, but that's gonna kill it. I think that's gonna totally.
I totally agree with you.
Yeah, Tekken is kind of weird. Where Tekken is love, but Tekken.
It's not like
never seems to reach the same heights.
It's not like Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite is doing well, and it has a lot of recognizable characters in it. So
yeah, you're right.
They should just do what Dead or Alive 5 did, and it's just like the DLC is just skimpy costumes for the chicks, for the female fighters.
Listen, you know what the problem with that is, though? Have you heard anything else about Dead or Alive other than the beach volleyball games?
Hell no.
Exactly.
No. But
Dead or Alive is a stupid, fun fighting game series, but literally it just gets thrown out.
That's the kind of DLC where it's like, yeah, if I was really weak and needed to see Christy in a bikini or something, but it's not going to affect the game.
Have it. The only thing that's going to save all of these games from Street Fighter, which in my opinion was a failure. Street Fighter 5 is, just the way they handled that was fucked up. All these other fighters is to come out with what was the name? Project Cross Zone, but actually make it a fighting game. And then put Nintendo characters on it.
They did it on the second one. They put Crom and Lucina.
Crom and Lucina kind of put fucking Mario in the shit and just save everybody's life, like Smash Brothers did for Pac-Man and Sonic. You look at how Sonic was doing. Look at what Smash Brothers did for Pac-Man and Sonic versus what Sega was doing for Sonic and Namco was doing for Pac-Man at that exact same time. You know what I'm saying? These companies.
Remember how cool it was when people are like, we got Pac-Man, Mario, Donkey Kong, Sonic, Mega Man, all in the same.
It's so many that you forget. Like I forgot to mention that Cloud was in the motherfucking game, and Bayonetta was also in the motherfucking game. You know what I'm saying? Like this is what needs to happen. Bayonetta's real estate just went up like tenfold from being in Smash Brothers. People who never even knew Bayonetta existed now are eagerly awaiting Bayonetta 3. Come on. And that Bayonetta 2 came out on the Wii U. Smash Brothers came out on the Wii U, the console that everybody says is just so terrible. But they all gained a huge bit of steam by being on a Nintendo system with actual quality. You know what I'm saying? Imagine Goku versus Mario. It might sound stupid now, but before Cloud was in Smash Brothers, could you even think about that? You know what I'm saying? Could you even imagine that? But it's hype. It builds genuine hype. You know what I'm saying? These companies don't know how to do it. They just know how to kill hype. by saying, "Oh well, pay for this nostalgia." You know what I'm saying? Like, and pay a lot of money for it.
I remember when the Zelda DLC was announced. When they announced it before the game came out, I was like, man, I just wish they didn't announce it first.
Yeah.
And $20 and what we got already to me was already a pretty nice addition, but
yeah,
we don't know what the rest of it's going to be, and I'm pretty.
It's probably gonna be ridiculous. It's
I'm
probably gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be delayed. Well, not delayed. Well, yeah, they said it was gonna come out this year. I think it's gonna come out next year, and it's gonna be way more involved.
Probably, yeah.
Probably even started planning. Their plan probably was. It's probably even gone beyond that, just like the game itself. So
I mean, it's probably gonna be an expansion, like a true expansion.
I just
surprised.
It just pisses me off that you can take a game that had like 100% goodwill and just fucking burn
and just ruin it in one announcement.
What pisses me off is that like a lot of I think the competitive scene kind of hurts this practice because they're the ones who buy into the shit the most because they're competitive players. Yeah, they're gonna get the shit regardless because they need to know how either know the matchups or know if they're gonna get a new main. And I'm like, I get it, but you're not helping the fan base by telling Bandai and whoever the fuck else, Capcom and whoever, that this is okay. And so they'll keep fucking doing it.
Yeah.
And it'll keep being a thing. And because fighting games, I think bar none get it the worst. Considering a fighting game is the main reason why you buy a fighting game is for the roster.
Yeah.
And you're just sitting there like, what? Are you joking?
It's like adding guns as DLC in Call of Duty, but not just a gun here and there, but like half of the guns or a third of the guns.
Gun skin.
Like, man, come on, please.
Well, I got one question. Robert, what's your take? Haven't heard you talk.
Well, I'm like Terrell when he's talking about movies. I blanked out.
Well, at least he was honest. I appreciate the honesty, Robert.
We can move on.
Robert's gonna walk in the store and buy all this shit we were just talking about because he wasn't paying attention.
Fuck EA. Wait, where are we at?
Never mind.
Well, you're a big Star Wars fan, and you didn't even comment really on the Star Wars.
Well, that what I'll say is like that fucking sucks because I think that'd be awesome to see like a single player Star Wars experience by Visceral. I think that would have been really damn cool. But unfortunately, we're just gonna get stuck with Battlefront 2, which I still think will be a good game, but I don't know the next Star Wars game. I don't know the actual next Star Wars single player game. Like we don't know it, and that sucks, you know.
And all these people are gonna buy Battlefront 2 and basically justify their decision
to do what they did. Shut them down. Yeah.
Look at what this multiplayer game's gonna do. Well, they did say all the content's gonna be free with Battlefront 2. All the stuff they add. There's no season pass this time because the one good thing they did, and probably did it for the wrong reasons, is they actually beefed up Battlefront. They learned from their mistakes. Battlefront 1 was, in my opinion, was completely unacceptable. The way they launched that, missing everything compared to the previous versions. This one, they've done basically what they should have did with the first game, with the second game, and then they said anything else is coming, it's all going to be free. They're pulling a Splatoon, which is good, but again, it's even that feels like it's got some ulterior motive to it. I don't know. It just feels. It doesn't feel like they did it because they really wanted to and wanted to be good to their fans. It just felt like they had to, type of situation. But anyway, let's talk about something good. Because yesterday I went to Best Buy because my microwave crapped out on me, so I had to buy a new microwave. And I seen the Switch demo was up and running, so I quickly went over, played a little Super Mario Odyssey.
Yeah.
And I only played it until the 10, whatever the timer is, 10 minutes, whatever it takes. I don't know exactly how long it is. And I thought about restarting it. Actually started to restart it. And then I was like, no, that's enough. I played enough. But my feelings in that short amount of time, I didn't even leave the little town area. Just in that 10 minutes, I jumped around the little Mexican little town, the few buildings and stuff. I spent all my time there, and I got 3 moon out of that area. Got my poncho and sombrero, and started heading out to the world, and then time ran out. And I had, more fun, I want to say, playing just about anything this year other than Zelda and ARMS. I had so much fun playing that little bit and just enjoying moving the camera around and with a 3D Mario game again, and jumping and having just full mobility, you don't have the 8 directions anymore. You have full control, and it was just absolute joy to control this game. And switching to the Joy-Cons and flinging, you can turn it a little bit sideways, and he throws the hat like vertical instead of just throwing it flat. It's just little touches like that, and it was the best gesture controls I've ever experienced, period. Like, by far. It was so flawless. And I'm just so much more excited now for the actual motion controls in that game. And it's just, it was amazing. And I didn't think I could get any more excited for the game. And after that little bit I played, it's just like off the charts now. So I know Terrell was the only other one that played it that last I knew. And
you played it too? Man, forget y'all, man.
Go to Best Buy, and apparently it was in Target. I found that out this weekend.
Yeah, it's kind of cool the way they have the Joy-Cons tethered, where you can only get away about maybe 3 foot from the TV if you stretch your arms out.
Yeah.
So that the only negative is like you being sits that close to a TV that's really not even that good of quality anyway. The game still looked great. I noticed like some of the distance stuff. I noticed some jaggies or whatever right away. But as soon as I started controlling Mario, he just like, to me, this feels like a next gen leap over a 3D world. Whereas like Splatoon 2 feels like it could have been the Wii U version. Like you could convince somebody that they're on the same system. But for me, like, this is a true Switch game that feels like a big jump over the last game. And it was just, I don't know how to describe how happy I was, how, flipping the Joy-Cons and having that hat come out like instantly responsive. It was amazing. So my hype level, I said it wasn't near Zelda, but it's right now, it's feeling like I'm feeling about the same as I was anticipating Zelda in the final week before it came out. So
really,
it was a joy to play. I was so happy. I didn't have any doubts, but I don't know, it was just so good, and I didn't want to play anymore. I didn't need to play anymore, and it was just amazing. Like, just to do the triple jumps, and I'm trying to get on top of this building using my old Galaxy and Mario 64 techniques, and actually pulling it off, using the back flip and the side jump techniques to get a little higher jump. And it's just so good.
Had the spin jump, huh?
I didn't try the spin jump, but I thought I saw one in the demo, like on E3. But just there's a little seed, and there's a couple pots there, so it's just like the Korok seeds in Zelda. Like, it's something jumps out at you. Oh, I see this thing line here. What is it? Oh, you can pick it up. Oh, you can press A to plant it, and then later on it becomes something. And it's just like there was just a few of those just in that little area. Like, I just felt compelled to go to these spots, and that's where a couple of the moons were. And then you're just exploring and getting the purple coins of the area, and so I could buy the sombrero, and it's just it's so good. So that comes out Friday. I can't believe it. It's already Friday.
Neither, dude. It feels like it should still be a month off.
Yeah,
it's crazy. And Best Buy I'm considering doing the midnight release, playing it for a couple hours, going to bed, and going to work and being tired. That's how excited I am now.
I have a gig Thursday night that goes until midnight. Well, just before midnight. As soon as that gig is over with, I'm going straight to Best Buy.
You're gonna do a long jump to Best Buy.
Yeah, I was pulling off long jumps. I didn't have to think about it as a veteran of 3D Mario games. I pull off the long jump, and
we're a lot better than Terrell.
Terrell's he's more Sonic than Mario, but
Sonic
it just felt so right, man. And
wow.
And I've yet to play it with the Pro controller. Sorry.
Get a dick, T.
But just real quick, I was playing Zelda. I'm trying to finish it, the master mode, and my Pro Controller battery was dying, so I plugged that in and I played split Joy-Cons for the first time, and probably it's been close to I bet it's been close to 200 hours of Zelda since I last played split Joy-Cons. Like I played in portable mode for a little bit here and there, but the one thing I will say after that much time with the Pro Controller, then going back to the Joy-Cons, I was really struggling with the analog sticks on the Joy-Cons with Zelda. Like they just don't have the range of movement. And I was worried about Mario being, I'm just going to play Pro Controller. Well, I tried it in the grip for about 2 minutes, and all you can do is throw that hat straight ahead of you. And wherever you're facing, you throw it. But with the motion controls, you have so much more freedom, and I think it's going to be hard not to play it that way.
So there's no way to direct the hat without
that. I couldn't figure out. I was trying to steer it.
You can, but from the beginning, they basically said it's way easier using the motion to do it.
Yeah, I was trying the right analog stick. I was trying the left. I couldn't really get it to do anything other than just go straight ahead. But
forcing you to use motion. There's Nintendo again.
That was a problem with Galaxy with some people, but it's okay now.
I don't understand how that was a problem with Galaxy because it was basically just another button press.
It was nothing. It was nothing.
Shaking it to do the spin jump was just so natural, and I'd rather do that than try to hit the down on the D-pad or something. One of those buttons that wasn't right there. But so anybody else gonna try to get a midnight? I know Robert.
Hells yes. I'm gonna go to. Well, I was debating on doing the 24-hour thing and like staying at Nintendo New York, but I'm like, no, because I don't think it's like as big as like a party. They're not gonna have like a big thing. Like I think there's something there, but it's not.
I think it'll be pretty big, honestly.
I think, but it's not like. They're not gonna. I don't know. They won't have Biggie playing. It's not gonna be like that. So I mean, I'm probably just gonna go to my GameStop and just go there and then play for like the whole time, and then go to work and play, and then go to sleep on like Saturday.
Yeah, I see somebody in the chat. Unfortunately, they're picking it up from GameStop. So, of all the games you could buy this year, This and Zelda's probably worth paying full $63 for with tax. But I mean, if you're not getting that 20% off from Amazon or Best Buy, man, you're really throwing money away at this point.
I'd rather pay $60 at Walmart than GameStop.
Yeah, I mean, if you buy a system, you ain't gonna save no money on. Yeah. But I haven't paid over I think $50 with the standard 20% off and tax. Yeah. And then a lot of games because of the $5 coupons you get every fourth or fifth game you buy or whatever. Like the standard price I've been paying is like $45, and it's like, yeah, I would definitely pay $60 for Mario if I had to, but I just to me it's GameStop isn't even an option anymore. Like I don't even think about them after having Gamers Club since February. It's just an amazing service. I don't know how they get away with it. I don't know how they make money. But
man, I just realized something real tragic. It turns out they won't be having a midnight release.
Really? I have to check my area for sure.
Oh my god!
Whack.
Oh no! I already ordered it from Best Buy, so I wasn't gonna get into after work anywhere.
Yeah, I was gonna be late. I was gonna be last in line anyway, so it was cool.
Did you guys? I heard there was some leaks. I don't know where they're coming from. Somehow somebody got a copy of the game.
Yeah, I think it was in China. Like I heard
in China,
of course.
Well, I mean, they got the game. Whether or not they're supposed to have, they could buy it normally is a different story. The reason why I say that is because I think I even posted in the chat. I think it was yesterday. Talk about don't look up like Nintendo Switch videos, period, because you will find the leaks like that. Like I've already seen something from the final boss. Like I haven't seen. It's
crazy.
The fucking thumbnail. It's all it took because of how this game works. The fucking thumbnail spoiled it.
Wow.
And I can't say nothing because if I say anything, it will give you too much of a hint. That's how obvious. That's how I know what that thumbnail is. Dude, the thumbnail. It doesn't. I don't even know how to explain it because I didn't watch the video. I just saw the thumbnail. The thumbnail implies something fucking awesome. That's all I can say.
Okay.
It implies something awesome. I don't know what the final boss is, but I have an idea.
Hey, that's a spoiler right there that there's a final boss. So let's stop talking about it.
Yeah. Well, the name of the video was Final Boss. That's how I knew it was.
I don't even want to know that there is one.
I thought Mario just dies at the end, man.
The only thing I've ever seen in Mario Odyssey is a little bit of gameplay with the official Nintendo people. Ash, what's the name? Kitta and whatever.
Oh, Kit and
Krista.
Kit and Krista.
Yeah.
And
I didn't watch that stuff.
That's it. So I don't
Not
know.
even the E3 Treehouse stuff.
I didn't watch it.
I watched
it. Got to get good. I'm watching Kit. I'm like, why ain't you using the warp on Mario 64, man? So, you know, on Battlefield and shit, he's just like running by the little warp point. I'm like, what you doing? Because he was having so much trouble getting up the damn hill.
It was a work in progress.
I was like, why didn't you just use the damn warp point, Mister? He talked like he was an expert at the damn game.
We got a bunch of filthy casuals. That's what it is.
Oh yeah.
Even though I'm not the one to talk with Sil.
I'm selecting my store for
that game was like $60, or I want to say it was more than that.
What still?
Mario 64 when it first came out.
Oh,
so for inflation, it's probably like 80 or 90 now. So.
Jesus. So yeah, I'm a little annoyed that I've technically spoiled an aspect of Odyssey for myself.
I was mad that they just had a screenshot of Mario and like laying on some grass with some little bird or something on.
Like, why would you do that? You're just being a dick.
And I'm like, Nintendo, why are you posting that? Like, yeah, that's pretty minor, but I don't know. So I'm looking at Best Buy's website, and they got like pick your store for the
release
the Super Mario late night store openings. But then when you pick the store, then it just gives you their standards. It just takes you to that store's standard page, and I'm like,
track.
That means I should press buy for a second and look.
Good job, Nintendo.
I don't know if that means they're not having one, or
let me see.
I was even selecting like Grand Rapids, where they always have events.
Let's see.
So
I feel like this should be a front page thing, and it's not, and I'm disappointed that it's not.
I just searched Super Mario Odyssey Best Buy midnight launch, and it took me to the page.
The earlier you get to play that game, the better it'll be off.
Yeah, considering the fucking ending of the game is already out there, and I've already seen. I don't know if I've seen.
The Game Explains probably already got bullshit.
No, they don't. The only thing they've posted.
No, they don't really have anything yet.
They posted Mario in New Donk City his sleeping animation. Yeah. That's literally it. Oh, and you can see Cat Peach in the game.
You know, that's Mario 64.
And the fact that there's like an 8-bit Cat Peach.
Let's quit talking about that kind of stuff. But
oh, okay.
Just sleeping. It's not a big deal.
But like literally, it's nothing. That's it. That's the only video I've seen from them about Odyssey.
I want everything like to be a surprise. That's
enough.
As much I watched some at E3, obviously, I just wanted to see what the game was about and stuff. But
and it's crazy though. Even after everything you've seen, I've seen like a screenshot. I won't say what it is, but I've never seen it. I'm like, what the hell is that? Like, there's so much.
Dude, that's why I said
insanity.
It's a spoiler.
And it pisses me off because the screenshot I saw literally implies so much, and it pisses me off that I've seen it.
These are spoilers. Stop hyping up the screenshot. That means
and I saw a screenshot.
I don't even want that to be spoiled.
Oh no! The screenshot for
I saw a screenshot where Peach was naked.
You piece of shit. He's a piece of shit. Everyone.
I didn't mean to spoil that, but I just had to say it.
Oh, by the way, Juice, when it takes you to the store page, do you go under the news and events tab? It has. That's where I see the stuff.
Someone says if your store is listed under once you pick the state, if there's a store in your town, but there's multiple Best Buys in certain towns, so I don't know if that's true, but
I think
I'm gonna try. I'll call them, but I did get an email about them adding some coin thing to my order.
I got the same thing.
So I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, it's a pre-order bonus. You get like a Cappy coin or something, I believe.
Oh, great.
So it's a thing you can do. It's another thing that you'll have for a few minutes, and then you'll put on your counter, and you'll never see it again.
Yep.
Yeah, just like everything else, every little trinket I've gotten like that. But
I was just able to pick up my pre-order from that store that they're doing the midnight launch at in the same city, but a different Best Buy. Oh yeah, cool.
How did you figure out which store
I
was
just went
doing
to
it?
make changes. I went to order status and it said make changes. So
Well, how did you find out that one store was going to have it over and the other wasn't?
I just typed in Super Mario Odyssey Best Buy midnight launch, and then I was able to find the different stores that are doing it. I'll post a link in the chat.
Yeah, I'm in that page, but when I select Michigan in my city, it doesn't tell me anything.
Yeah,
I hit go, and then it just shows the hours being standard hours.
Best Buy game events or something like that.
So when you click on it, did it show like Thursday, like that they were going to be open 12:01, or?
All I know is it just showed.
He wasn't worried about nothing. He was like, as long as
I select the store and then it doesn't tell me. It doesn't tell me anything. It
post it in the chat. Can I post links in the?
Yeah.
Cool. This is the chat for our podcast. So yeah.
Yeah, I was already in this page, and then when I click go, it doesn't tell me anything.
I'm just looking to make sure.
It took me to Best Buy in-store event. And it's Mario Odyssey and Assassin's Creed and Wolfenstein.
Yeah.
I went there. And then when I selected my state and store, it didn't say yes. It doesn't show.
Finally shipped my 2K18.
Oh, that means you're not having it.
When are you getting that, T?
Finally shipped my shit, dude.
But we should probably it's probably not the most interesting to hear us trying to find a midnight.
Let's find this.
I feel like
but let's.
Don't care.
Let's talk about my copy of 2K18 that finally shipped.
Oh yeah. So we can give our final thoughts and get out of here, and we can figure this stuff out off air. So let's start with Terrell.
So we have Animal Crossing Direct. What was that? Is that Wednesday or tomorrow?
Animal Crossing Mobile.
Yeah, Animal Crossing Mobile Direct. Although I have a sneaking suspicion we'll hear it somewhere. We won't see anything, but we might hear. I'm just saying we might hear.
I don't know. They've been pretty active.
I'm not saying there's something that's gonna come from it, but I think that it's somewhere in that direct. You might just hear random. That's all I'm saying.
Somebody scratching themselves or something.
But we have that. I thought something else got announced and I'm completely forgetting. I might be forgetting some stuff. Good podcast. Mario Odyssey Friday. Fire Emblem Warriors is a good game. I know people have issues with the roster and the games that were represented. And yes, I agree on the DLC. There will be a video on my channel about probably addressing that in further detail. And holy shit, I'm surprised we'll be playing this shit before even November hits. That's what trips me out. We're playing Mario for November hits.
Yeah.
And apparently, and if you're interested, they put all the fucking Champions Amiibo up for pre-order on Amazon. So those are things you can go pre-order if you want to, as if you didn't have enough money to fucking spend.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyways, life's a game played away. Catch you guys never, because next week we'll be in comas.
Yeah, or playing Mario Odyssey.
Well, no, that's what the comas.
Next week's podcast, we're gonna talk while playing. Everyone's gonna be playing Mario Odyssey.
I almost wanted Juice to be like, next week's podcast is canceled.
He's gonna come up with some kind of excuse.
Yeah, like he won't even answer nobody's text. Like Friday, we won't hear from him for like 6 days. Are you dead, man? No, man. I'm playing Mario.
All right, Robert. Final thoughts.
So I cannot wait. I mean, it like genuinely like it's like I'm excited, but it doesn't feel real. Like it does. Like I'm like it's coming, but it's like I don't believe it though. What are you talking about? It's not coming. What you talking about?
Yeah, for real.
Like it's crazy. Like it hasn't synced into my brain that yes, you're getting a new 3D Mario this Friday. Blows my mind. I can't wait till Thursday. I'm gonna go to GameStop. However, I might just switch to Best Buy because I'm not even sure if they're doing a midnight launch for my GameStop, but they are doing it for Best Buy apparently. So I might have to cancel the $5 I put down in January to put it towards Best Buy, and I can't wait because I'm gonna go there. and I'm gonna pick up Assassin's Creed Origins, and not Super Mario Odyssey. Imagine, that comes out the same day.
No one cares.
There's something else in there. It's not just that. It's something else.
Origins.
Yeah.
And
I thought
Wolfenstein.
Oh wait, no.
Wolfenstein also.
Wolfenstein.
Yeah, there we go. I knew there was something else.
I like to see the number between Odyssey and Origins, like who's. I'd
like to see Assassin's Creed versus Wolfenstein because I don't.
That's what I want to see.
I don't think people really care about Assassin's Creed, even with the 2-year break they took.
No, they're waiting for the Xbox One X.
But it's in Egypt, man. It's in Egypt.
No, they're waiting for Xbox One X to come out to get that 4K patch.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't.
Yeah, the Xbox One X went all out on advertising during The Walking Dead last night. They had a big old spot. Yeah.
Wait, The Walking Dead was on TV last night?
Mm-hmm. Season premiere.
Well, I will say that
Walking Dead's back on TV.
Yeah, season 8 just
I just finished 7, so I'm late.
Yeah, season 8 just aired last night. First season premiere.
Wow.
Nice. Well, if you're gonna watch some good TV, watch some Mr. Robot.
Yeah. Well, go ahead. Sorry.
And also, I saw Geostorm and the Snowman, both garbage.
Both garbage.
They're both. I'm telling you,
Geostorm. I know it's utter trash.
Done for.
They're both bad. Don't watch them. Please go watch Blade Runner. Blade Runner.
Yeah, that ain't barely. What that make like 7 million or something?
Yeah, for the first third week. Yeah.
Did you see it yet?
Yeah.
No. I'm going to see it during the week. I'm going to see it in the matinee during the afternoon.
Oh yeah, definitely go check it out.
If you're a movie enthusiast at all,
I'm going to see it. It's not. That's not a question. It's just the time thing for me.
Yeah,
I feel you.
I had the kids the whole weekend. We had the freaking
take your kids to go see Blade Runner. I'm gonna.
No, I can't take them to see that.
Oh, you cannot.
And I'm ready to throw some hats onto some bitches.
Oh, wow.
Can we get that as a T-shirt? Damn it! I'm ready to throw some hats on some bitches. Robert 2017.
An exact quote.
But yeah, Odyssey. Set me free.
Just stop.
And just that Best Buy thing, I think I know why I was having a problem because I only have one Best Buy in my city, and I know some cities have multiple.
Yeah.
So you just select the city, then it tells you which store. Which since I only have the one store, that's why I just kept. I was like, why is it just showing me the stores page? That means like if Detroit or something has multiple Best Buys, it would tell you which one's having it. So just clearing that up for anybody listening. So if you put in your state, put in your city, and once you put in the city, it'll tell you which store it is. So anyway, T, final thoughts?
Great podcast as always. Like I said, I will be going to see what's that movie we just saw?
Blade Runner.
I'm playing. Blade Runner. I'm looking up times right now, actually.
Good job.
And don't go see Geostorm. Heard from multiple people, it's utter garbage.
It's bad.
I'm surprised that Jeremy Johns didn't give it a dog shit, but
I thought he did. Maybe
he did. He gave it. He forgot about it. A T-. For Jeremy Johns fans, you'll understand what we're talking about here. But anyway, very excited for Mario Odyssey. I'm trying to figure out. I'm probably going to be playing Mario Odyssey while watching Stranger Things.
I know. I'm getting Netflix
See,
this week for that.
Yeah, season 2 starts on the same day. A lot of stuff dropping on 27th apparently. But what was my catchphrase again? I'm lost right now. I'm looking at these times. As always, say, play Nintendo Fruits.
Yeah.
All right, brother. Twilight. Final thoughts.
Oh man, yeah. Go see Blade Runner, everybody.
Yeah.
And make sure you either get a Switch if you don't already have one, or if you do, make sure you get Super Mario Odyssey this weekend, man, and enjoy the epicness with us. It was great being back with y'all, man. I'm out, man. That's all I got to say, bro.
All right, it's going to be interesting to see the reports. Wolfenstein 2 outsold Super Mario Odyssey you know, that kind of shit that's gonna be happening, and then we'll see it in the long run how that works. But you had something else?
Let's play
What?
arms.
Hmm?
Everybody in the chat. Us.
Look at this man.
Let's play some arms. Come on.
Yo, it
Come on,
took
let's
Blade
do it.
Runner out of my theater, yo. I gotta go.
No
did?
way! Did it
Yeah.
really?
I gotta
Already?
go to another town to watch this movie now.
That's great. It's still in my biggest theater I'm at. So I'm
Last weekend it still had the most show times, but I think they were still holding out.
How many? How much money has it made so far? You might know.
100
70.
worldwide. It's like 190 something.
2 hours and 44 minutes.
It goes by quick. I thought.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that. I'm wondering if that's one of the reasons why.
And you know they still have it in my theater.
Yeah, they still have it in my theater too. What they
The no
got,
Blade Runner? What the hell?
Blade.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, it was way more popular though. I mean,
Well, yeah, but like, I mean, come on, Blade Runner came out 3 weeks ago. How are you gonna take it out already?
Yeah, it's 3 weeks.
That's a shame, and it's just one of those.
It's a
in
great movie.
gaming it happens, in movies it happens, in music it happens.
Because I saw it too, but it wasn't like, you know, life changing. It really
No,
wasn't.
but it was
I'm
just
not-
it came at the right. It was like a perfect storm of a
Yeah.
bunch of bad movies in the month of August.
definitely.
If I don't know if Blade Runner would have came out before it might have.
Yeah, I think Blade
Captured.
Runner, if it came out in August, it would have made a lot more.
But
Yeah.
people just it's an old franchise. Like it was risky just bringing it back anyway because it never was that big a deal.
Exactly. It was a real.
Anyway.
It's been a cult hit for.
But just everyone involved, I guess they thought it would be better, you know, do better. It's just an amazing film, and I think it'll do great on streaming and Blu-ray. But anyway, Twilight, is that all you had, or did you?
Let's play arms. That's it.
Okay.
Peace.
Oh, one more thing.
What?
Oh,
Tomorrow, War for the Planet of the Apes comes out on Blu-ray. People, get hyped.
shit. Okay.
Yeah, I've seen that. I'll get to watch that movie this weekend too, on top of playing Mario and watching Stranger Things. I'm gonna be busy. But yeah, I finally picked up Wonder Woman on Blu-ray yesterday when I was at Best Buy, and I watched that Justice League trailer about 7 times before the movie. I just kept hitting back and watching it. It was the one before this current one.
Okay, the
It's just-
together.
Yeah, it's just so good. I'm excited for Blade Runner, or not Blade Runner, but Justice League. Justice League.
We gonna see.
To me, it's way ahead of Thor as far as anticipation. I'm not saying Thor won't be an entertaining movie, but I don't know.
Yeah, Thor is gonna definitely get trounced.
I think Thor's gonna be funny and maybe a little too trying to be funny, but yeah, that's my movie talk, and then the rest is just I just can't wait till Mario comes out. I remember 4 years ago when 3D World was coming out, and we hadn't had that heavy hitter yet on the Wii U, and it was been a year. It came out. 3D World came out almost a year after the Wii U launched. And I remember I was like sick to my stomach, excited to actually have like a top tier game to play on the system. And I mean, Pikmin was great, and Rayman was good, and you know, Wind Waker HD was nice, but it's like it was yesterday waiting for 3D World, and then I downloaded at midnight. It was half the reason I downloaded it was so I could play it.
Yeah.
And you know, the first world was really pretty easy, but I still enjoyed it. And it's crazy though, it's been 4 years since then, and now we got Odyssey, which looks like it's just on a whole nother level.
It looks like they've been developing Odyssey since 3D World.
Yeah.
Before
And what
3D
I
World.
forgot to say was when I finally left the little town in that demo, and I captured like a looking glass or whatever, like a, I don't know, a little binocular thing, and it jumps up in the air. And I was looking to the normal areas that I've seen people play. Then I looked over to the left, and there's just this whole other like giant area that I've never seen before in any of the gameplay I've seen. And I'm like, holy crap! Like it's this area is this big. I was like, holy, it's amazing how big it is. I couldn't figure out how to get out of the binoculars, and I was stuck there for like 30 seconds, and then the demo ended. So I'll be interested to find out how to actually get out of that once you capture it. But you know, it's one of those things where I know people jokingly, we were jokingly saying there's too many games, and it's a good problem to have. It's just gonna suck for some of the games might get overshadowed and stuff, and it's just gonna be a busy time. We're gonna have a lot to talk about on the next, podcast for the rest of the year. There's always pretty much gonna be a steady flow of games to be talking about every Monday, which is good for us. So looking forward to that. And well, next week we will have our hands-on impressions of Super Mario Odyssey. Hopefully everyone's going to get it, and Amazon's not going to screw over Ms. T or anyone else. So
yeah.
Hopefully you get it on Friday and get to play it, and we'll talk about it next week. So thanks to everybody for tuning in. It's probably the busiest chat I've seen, period, on a podcast, like from the get-go. Yeah, so yeah, appreciate everybody for sticking with us, and I haven't been able to really check the chat much, but I see it's been very active. So look forward to next week. We'll be, talking about the potential game of the year, which is Super Mario Odyssey, and we'll be talking about that game probably for the next few podcasts. So look forward to that, and until then, we'll see you.